So, whatever you have is the result of punya gained over a number of lives. Ajnana hetu krita moha mahamdhakara nasham vidhayahi tatodayate vivegaha. And the benefit of satsanga is the dawning of viveka. What? Boliye? When in your heart and mind viveka, the art and process, the quality of discrimination dawns, then the satsanga becomes beneficial and effective. So what I have to give you or I have to generate in you is viveka, my dear souls, nothing else. I have not come here to distribute gold and silver to you. I cannot give you anything at all. Instead, you are giving me. Every drop of blood in my body is belonging to others. मेरे पास तो कुछ नहीं है, मेरा भी कुछ नहीं है. जो कुछ है सब दूसरों के है. My whole body, every bit of the cell that I have, it belongs to the others. So I cannot give you anything, but I can give you something very great, viveka. Viveka, the art and process of discrimination. All our scriptures are there, only to impart the three letters, viveka, viveka. हमारे शास्त्रों में काफी चर्चा है. स्वर्ग के प्रति है, नरक के प्रति है, वैकुंठ के प्रति है, कैलाश के प्रति है. A number of facts are allied and coupled with fictions. Are you following me? बोलिए ना. Facts are coupled with fictions. Truth is coupled with untruth. Dharma is mixed with adharma. In the same Kurukshetra battlefield, Duryodhana assembled with his army. Yudhishthira also assembled with his army. Duryodhana said, I must win. Yudhishthira said, I should also win. और क्या चाहते हैं बोलिए? संसार इसी प्रकार है. हमारा व्यक्तित्व भी इसी प्रकार है. Now we must have the discrimination to understand where lies what and what is required. The only object of our narrations, whether it is in the Vedas or in the Smritis or in the Itihasas or in the Puranas, the only object is to instill in the mind of the listener and the reader the one quality of discrimination, viveka. That is what you are going to get. And this Viveka Chudamani is a text on सुनिए ना उसका अर्थ क्या है. विवेक चूडामणि, Viveka is the crest jewel. You take a crest jewel and put it on the head. Do you see it or the others see? Your dress, are you looking at your dress and walking? Then you will fall. Your dress is seen by the others. Your jewelry is seen by the others. But there is one crest jewel called Viveka, which when it starts adorning your brain, you will be rejoicing over it. You will be rejoicing over it. Viveka is the jewel that is going to adorn your brain, your intelligence. And this is the text that we are discussing.
We'll chant the first shloka. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham.
See, this is a conversation between the disciple and the Guru. And as I mentioned yesterday, this Vedanta is a pursuit by the mind and the intelligence, for the mind and the intelligence, in the mind and in the intelligence. The purpose of this pursuit is to enrich and enlighten your mind and intelligence, as a result of which your life, activity and interaction in this world will all become enriched and empowered. The weak man will become strong. The gloomy man will become cheerful. The diffident person will beam with confidence. The narrow-minded man will have a broad-minded outlook. So it is all the development of the human personality. We must always have some disciplines in our life. Disciplines are there in the military, in the armed services, the defense forces. But our discipline has got additionally a note of austerity. You are coming here every day in time, not being late. See, I told you, why are you pulling and pushing the chair, waiting for people to come and then take the chair? Wisdom demands, carefulness demands that some additional chairs are put there so that they can come and sit comfortably. You are neither disturbed, nor are they disturbed, nor are we disturbed. This means watchfulness, forethought, planning, scheming, making effort. Out of so many who sit here, how many will get up and take a chair and put it? Not many. Even 10% of you will not be ready to put back your chair or to take it and put it for the sake of others. Most of you, 99% of you are selfish. We need conveniences, but we cannot give conveniences to the others. Now, I am not blaming anybody. This is the character of the human. The friction is there on the earth, and we have to overcome it. This laziness, this lethargy, this indifference, this lack of attention, lack of consideration for others, it is characteristic and ingrained in the people. We have to discern it and remove it. So our discipline is always not just discipline, it is an austerity. When there is a thought of divinity or an attitude of divinity given to the discipline, it becomes austerity. Getting up early in the morning, having your bath, saying that there is a lecture, it's a great fortune for all of us to be going and having satsang in the hands of a Swamiji who comes here regularly for the past 49 years, 50th year he has come. As he has come, let us also at least go. We may not go to him. Let us come to Jamshedpur. Let us at least be present there. A sense of gratitude, a sense of belonging, a sense of ownership about our culture. Keeping all these things, whatever you do, it is austerity. How much austere you are. The austerity may be bodily, oral, mental or intellectual. Any austerity. Please tell your children also, you must have some austerity. Ask them simply to sit in a place, close their eyes, simply sit for 15 minutes. That is an austerity. That austerity must be had, must be had. That is why Patanjali Maharshi discusses yama and niyama, yama and niyama. Some of the austerities are physical and sensory. Others are in the character, the quality of the character, the elegance of your behavior, and also that benevolent nature in your interactions. I generally use 3 phrases: characteral elegance, behavioral majesty, and interactional excellence. Do you like these words? Make sure that in your character you are elegant. Characteral elegance, that refinement should be there. Your behavior cannot be cheap. Understand where you stand, what is your worth. While you talk to the others, be benevolent, be kindly, be considerate. Don't jump at others. You may be great, others may be small, but you alone do not constitute the world. A Mahatma Gandhi was there only when he was surrounded by Duratmas. So Mahatma became Mahatma because of? If too many Mahatmas were there, this Mahatma Gandhi would not have been counted at all. So let us understand it. An individual cannot make the world. An individual cannot make house. An individual cannot make a car. Every individual owes himself, his existence, to the others around him. So consideration is important, is inevitable. So that characteral elegance, you must have inwardly a set of qualities which will enrich and edify your personality. Then in your behavior also, it should be majestic, 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 majestic. What is majestic behavior? Shall I tell you? Sri Rama, he was about to reach Lanka. All the army, Vanara army, everything was ready. Suddenly Shuka and Sarana, in the form of spies spent by Ravana, came to their camp. Vibhishana could recognize them. Suddenly they were caught and brought before Sri Rama. He asked them, "Who are you? We are sent by Ravana, please don't punish us. Don't fear, tell me. What for have you come? To see your army. Have you seen the army? No, please go and see. Go and see the army. You have come to inspect it. Take them to wherever they want. Show the entire army. The army formation is already over. Now there cannot be any addition or reduction. Now by Ravana coming to know the army, what is wrong? So he said, let them see the whole army and go. If you have finished your job, you can go. Otherwise see again, he said. This is called the majesty of behavior. Boliye na. This is India, my dear souls. It is not the crooked India that you have in mind. It is the majestic and magnificent India. Your crooked stories will never find a place in history. Only good people will be counted, will be recounted. A Krishna will be extolled, a Rama will be extolled, but not you and your grandfather or grandchildren, unless they have something good, great, noble, benevolent and praiseworthy. We are praising God because by praising Him we imbibe godliness. So when Krishna is praised and extolled, we imbibe Krishnatva in us. That is why Sri Rama is extolled by millions and trillions of people in the world. This you should understand. Vibhishana came from there. Vibhishana came from there. And all people said, they have come from the enemy camp. They have come from the enemy camp. He should not be accepted. I don't have the Sanskrit verse with me, I don't know it by heart. It is an extempore speech. So, he asked, all people said, no, don't accept, he has come from an enemy camp. Hanuman said, my dear Lord, he has come seeking refuge under you. It does not matter where from he has come. He has come here under your refuge seeking it, and you cannot deny it. Rama said, whether it is Vibhishana or anybody else, even if Ravana were to come seeking my refuge, I will give it, and took him. This is called majesty of behavior, my dear souls. This is written in the cultural annals of our country, the cultural pages of our country, the history of our country. Please read a little of Ramayana in your house. Devote a little time. Read 1 or 2 chapters. Read 1 or 2 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Let no day be spent in your life, in your house, without having a light, a little touch, a sparsha from these. Interactional excellence. In your interaction with others, be excellent. He told me X, so I will tell him X squared. Nonsense. You say he has said X which is wrong, and you are going to give back wrong squared? Where is it written? Whatever you say to be wrong, you should eliminate it in you. So he bet me, I bet him twice. This is what the buffaloes and jackals will do, but not human beings will do. So in our interactions, we have to be very excellent. In your profession, you cannot be second to anybody. Your productivity should be the best, the maximum. Disconnect your remuneration from what you do. What you do goes to the pool of the nation, of the globe. I don't know whether I am clear to you. See, whatever you do, it is not for your employer. It is for the society. That societal pool, it should always be. Even you, your children, grandchildren, all of them are beneficiaries. So in your productivity, your remuneration should not intercept at all. Remuneration is only a kind of a resource by virtue of which you and your family live, that's all. But what you are doing is for the nation. Is for the nation. All the steel that is produced by Tata Steel, do you mean the Tata directors eat them off? Are you going to eat them? The steel is being used for different purposes throughout the globe, throughout the nation. And if your production is retarded by any remunerational consideration or dissatisfaction, where do you stand? It is better that we employ robots, not you, human being. A human being means humanly elegant he should be. So in all your interaction, you should be self-motivated. You should be nobly motivated. You must be elegant. You must be elegant. You must be unimpeachable. Unimpeachable. I have done my job. Do it cheerfully. Do it hopefully. Do it confidently. Do it wholesomely. Do it nationally. Do it globally. When you are on the work front, you are contributing to the nation. In your family, you may be a husband, you may be a father, you may be X or Y. But when you go and take up a job, it becomes a need, a part of the national growth and development. Have this nationalness in you. Let us nationalize and globalize the minds of people. This is what you must have. Let everybody understand. We require disciplines and austerity to enrich and embellish our inner personality so that the static character will become qualitative. Behavior, its display will become endearing, sweet and nourishing for the entire world, and your interactions will be very effective, highly productive and globally and nationally contributing. Am I right or not? Huh? This is the spirituality I know, my dear souls. I am a super traditional person. You don't know the extent of tradition I embody in me. I am a super traditional person. Because I am a super traditional, I have outlived tradition. And outliving the tradition, I have identified myself with the world, the modern science and the modern technology, and I am speaking about how this great eternal spiritual wisdom and enrichment are very much of relevance and application to the present day. That is why I speak in this manner. You must be finding a difference in my talk, isn't it? Huh? And everything I speak is spiritual. I took up from discipline. I explained Viveka. And I have come to austerity and finally to the productivity that you should bring about in this world. ठीक है क्या? बोलिए ना, थोड़ा सिर हिलाकर बोलिए. अच्छा. So I have been speaking on Viveka Chudamani for a number of years. I take only 3 or 4 verses and I speak whatever you need and I like. Whatever I like, all of it you will not accept. So I will have to blend beautifully like Lipton tea. Whatever I like and I want, and whatever you will cherish. So I have to blend the two and make it endearing and sweet to you. I don't know whether I am successful. Ajnana yogat paramatmanastava hyanatma bandhastadayeva samsritihi tayor vivekodita bodhavannihi ajnana karyam pradahet samulam. Ajnana yogat paramatmanastava.
Ajnana yogat paramatmanastava.
Ajnana yogat paramatmanastava. Hyanatma bandhaha.
Hyanatma bandhaha.
Tadayeva samsritihi.
Tata eva samsritihi.
Tayoho vivekodita bodhavannihi.
Vivekodita bodhavannihi. Vivekodita
bodhavannihi.
bodhavannihi.
Ajnana karyam
अज्ञानकार्यं
प्रदहेत् समूलम्
प्रदहेत् समूलम्
अज्ञानयोगात्
अज्ञानयोगात्
परमात्मनः
परमात्मनः
तव
तव
अज्ञानयोगात् परमात्मनस्तव
अज्ञानयोगात् परमात्मनस्तव
हि
हि
अनात्मबन्धः
अनात्मबन्धः
तव
तव तत
ह्यनात्मबन्धस्तत.
अनात्मबन्धस्तत.
It is not tava tada, I made a mistake. ह्यनात्मबन्धस्तत.
ह्यनात्मबन्धस्तत.
हि
हि
अनात्मबन्धः
अनात्मबन्धः
ततः
ततः
ह्यनात्मबन्धस्ततः.
ह्यनात्मबन्धस्ततः.
That visarga is dropped when it is followed by a swara, a vowel. Eva
एव
samsrutihi
संसृतिः
tayoho
तयोः
vivekodita
विवेकोदित
bodha
बोध
vannihi
वह्निः
tayor vivekodita bodha vannihi
तयोर्विवेकोदित बोधवह्निः
tayor vivekodita bodha vannihi
तयोर्विवेकोदित बोधवह्निः
ajnanakaryam
अज्ञानकार्यं
प्रदहेद
प्रदहेत्
समूलम
समूलं
प्रदहेद समूलम.
प्रदहेत् समूलम्.
This is a very, very fundamental proposition in spiritual wisdom and spiritual pursuit. After having enunciated what are the prerequisites for taking up the spiritual knowledge pursuit, he comes up and says, this is called spiritual wisdom, this is from where it proceeds. It proceeds from a premise. What is that premise? We are all fundamentally and basically suffering from ignorance. What? Now you may wonder, you should wonder, Swamiji, we are all wise people. Right from the children we have been talking. From the childhood we were talking. And every word is an idea. So in all our sentences and spoken expressions, there was always knowledge. How is it that Vedanta tells us that we are ignorant? You should think about it. Yes, you are ignorant. There is no doubt about it. But ignorant about what? All our knowledge, ever since we were born, and we were initiated into whatever is called speaking, thinking, etc. Shall I stop so that you will absorb the point? Ever since the beginning of our life, all our perceptions and knowledge derived after our perceptions is always with the objects and outside world. Do you agree or not? We see our body, we see the floor, we see the walls, we see our parents, we see the other members of the family, we go out, go to the market, we start reading book, book is an object, letters and words are an object, sound is an object. So right from the beginning, our human body itself is made for what purpose? Only to host sensory organs. Eyes for us to see, ears to hear, nose to smell, tongue to taste, skin to touch, hands, feet and the other organs to be acting and interacting. So our whole body is actually a house for the 10 senses to be. And these senses only work in the outside area. Their actions and interactions are with the objects. 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 Earth is an object. Sun is an object. Air is an object. Fire is an object. Space is an object. So all our knowledge is only with regard to the objects. But what are we? Are we an object or a subject? थोड़ा बोलिए. Your body is an object because you see it. But tell me, who or what sees the body? Does the body say you have a mind? Or the mind says that I have a body?